calling it a war on the children.
Young people's imaginations have become the battlefield. Whatever gets their imagination gets their worship. Whatever gets their worship gets their heart.
The media bombards kids today with messages, many with satanic overtones.
Satan's not stupid. He understands that kids today are visual, and so he's making a play for excitement, for total involvement of the senses.
Is the devil's pentagram, 666, the sign of the devil. Over here, a bloody skull and crossbones.
Other symbols of Satan are the letters ACDC, which stand for Antichrist, Devil Child.
Many recordings, which some believe may contain satanic references, in the form of backward messages.
Okay, the phrase we're looking for is, and there's still time to change the roads around it. Not flip it for us. Okay. A lot of people hear the phrase, my sweet Satan.
My sweet Satan.
My sweet Satan. How often do you find heavy metal music indicators at the scene of a crime involving satanic worship?
Probably about 35–40% of calls.
And the musical message comes across loud and clear at concerts and now through rock videos. The symbolism is all there. The satanic pentagram. The upside-down cross. The blank eyes of the beast. The rebellion against Christianity. And again, the obsession with death.
We're the next generation!
Some young people are attracted to the occult by seemingly harmless pleasures, such as games and music. They start by participating in fantasy role-playing games, like Dungeons and Dragons.
It's a fantasy role-playing game, and it's a refined version of the pretend games we all play as kids. The books tell how to play, describing all the kinds of characters the player can be, and the monsters that will be met on each imaginary adventure.
Can I do something?
Yeah, hold it.
I've rang of 2 wishes. I'm gonna wish that the door opens.
You just got wiped out.
Okay.
It is not only the violence in the fantasies, but the quasi-religious character of the game, with mystic figures who use holy water and magic spells, all woven in arcane language like a secret society, that gives this game a special quality that captivates players and worries some others. But the boys say it's just a game for them, an exciting voyage of imagination.
A simple, harmless game. Yet suicides, murders, and robberies have been linked to this game.
One day, Mike heard a voice from hell.
It wasn't an audible voice, but I heard a voice speaking in my mind suggesting, why don't you just destroy yourself? Why don't you just do what goes on in those dreams? Just destroy yourself, kill yourself.
Books, the games, the toys, the TV all seem to have the same origin. Throughout society, a web seems to be woven to initiate and educate the unsuspecting into the world of the occult.
Perhaps no example of what can come along to warp the minds of youth stands out stronger than that of what's known as the violent punk rocker movement that originated in England.
The music is violent, the drugs are violent, their dress is violent. The punk rock movement started over 10 years ago in direct rebellion against the rat race we call modern society. They embraced Marxism and anarchy as their philosophy, which in turn developed their lifestyle of violence.
The dress of a punk is to dress as violent as you can.
The fun and games level, referred to as the dabblers. A half-belief in Satanism or some serious interest, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude towards family and religion, a drastic decline in academic performance, a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music, almost to the point of addiction. When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols, a decorative dagger or knife, a personal diary with a black cover, which is called a Book of Shadows, a small makeshift altar.
The child is bringing home things, rock music posters, Dungeons and Dragons, little demonic toys, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Any of these kind of things can be used as familiar objects, and that means that they are used by Satan to say, okay, you have given me a legal doorway to come into this house. You might be a Christian, but that doesn't matter. You have an idol in your house, I can come into your house, and I can assault your kids.
Well, she does have black candles in the room, and she has a skull, and she has heavy metal posters all over, and most of her clothing that she's been buying is all black. I told the mother, I suggest you go into the room and clean it out. Many parents don't understand that they have the right, and not only the right, but the responsibility to go into their children's room. You are not violating their privacy because their privacy belongs to you.
If you discover items such as these, experts advise you contact your local law enforcement agency at once. Joining a satanic or occult group will, in time, lead into the no-turning back stage, usually involving criminal activities.
We found that minor cases of satanic activity light up the map. Not a single state is unaffected. But even more frightening is the number of reported murders and suicides with satanic clues. All of them were investigated by police, but usually without much result.
In the classic horror film Rosemary's Baby, Mia Farrow is drawn into the clutches of a satanic cult and is married to the devil.
This is no dream. This is really happening.
And if the devil has PR, then it is, cinema.
This artwork is from a homicide case that combined heavy metal music with self-styled Satanism. The work of 18-year-old Scott Waterhouse, a so-called Satanist whose drawings clearly show he had murder on his mind.
Do you find missing children sometimes fall prey to these people?
I believe that they do. We can't prove that they do.
A dangerous manifesto.
The author of the Satanic Bible, and who in 1966 founded the First Church of Satan.
When you get into one of these groups, there's only a couple ways you can get out. One is death. The other is mental institutions. Or the third, you can't get out.
The pagan or occultic community. And the other community is, of course, the homosexual community. Interestingly enough, they go hand in hand. And so, well, see, here you go.
Satan to me would be God.
Well, the demented son of Sam Killer, David Berkeley. These and others purportedly linked to the devil worship underground.
It was a sacrifice to prove allegiance to Satan.
What was it about Satanism that attracted you?
Power.
Her father, Anton LaVey, is, I guess, the founding father of Satanism.
The people who you've shown in these film clips would not be Satanists. The Church of Satan, when it was founded, was composed not of people with a hatred for Christianity, but of people who were agnostics and atheists, because they felt that the institutions which had arisen around Christianity had failed in their moral commitment.
You have to understand that every single thing you've given as examples of Satanism here are completely from a Christian standpoint, that everything you've put forth as being considered satanic is not considered satanic by my standard or my definition of Satanism.
Lying?
Well, have the bodies been found?
I heard the Satanists say that it is not the teaching that is wrong, it is the person that's wrong. Are you using Satanism as a cover for your violence?
The fact of the matter is that kids are abducted, teenagers are drawn into the occult, and a lot of them are being used for occult sacrifice.
Satan is lost, and if you're with him, then you're going to be one of the losers.
I'm telling you, there is no way out of Satanism except through Christ.
Say, Jesus, help me, and then renounce the other.